Russia has massed over 100,000 troops close to the border with Ukraine. Meanwhile, Moscow complains of a NATO military build-up in Eastern Europe and has warned of the dangers of confrontation. With tensions building, Washington and Moscow met for talks in Geneva this week, but the European Union was excluded, to its clear frustration.
On this dialogue, there are not two actors alone. It's not just US and Russia. If we want to talk about security in Europe, the Europeans has to be part of the table.
But the EU is late to that table, says analyst Liana Fix.
The problem here is that the European Union has not been involved formally in talks in 2014 when the Ukraine crisis started. Back then we had Germany and France in the Normandy format and no official EU representative. Within the European Union, the question is who is more powerful, the member states or the EU as an institution itself. And on the other hand, in Moscow, the EU is not taken seriously.
France is leading a European push for what it calls greater strategic sovereignty, driven by concerns over America's commitment to NATO. Paris says Russia's President Vladimir Putin is deliberately trying to bypass the EU.
He
has no consideration for the European Union, and he is totally determined to try to put dents in European unity, which is solidifying.
Moscow also aims to undermine the transatlantic alliance, argues analyst Petro Berkovsky.
Russia uses these talks in order to destroy trust between the United States and European partners, and tries to demonstrate that the United States are ready to discuss its security in Europe and discuss its policy in Europe behind the European partners.
Without its own military force, the European Union as an institution may not be taken seriously by Moscow, but it does have a key role to play, says analyst Liana Fix.
When the European Union and the United States now think about economic sanctions towards Russia in case of an intervention, of an invasion of Ukraine, then it is the European Union that will have to deliver an economic sanctions package and has to deliver the agreement of all member states.
Meanwhile, following talks between NATO and Russian officials Wednesday, the United States said transatlantic allies were united.
I think one of the things that Russia has done, which it probably did not expect, it has brought all of Europe, NATO and non-NATO allies alike, together to share the same set of principles, the same ambition, the same hopes, and the same commitment to diplomacy.
21 European Union member states are also members of NATO. And despite the frustration, analysts say the EU recognises that the alliance remains the bedrock of its own security. Henry Ridgewell for VOA News, London.